Aware of all the massive hype and the politics surrounding your appointment.
Yeah.
Because of all of that, was it the biggest and most difficult decision you've had to make in your career?
Of course it was. Yeah, it was. Well, I wouldn't say it was the most difficult decision to make in my career, but I'm saying it was a tough one. But it's not every day you get offered a job like this. And there's no way I could have knocked back being the manager of Aston Villa.
Were you surprised when you came back from your holiday and you saw how vociferous, how aggressive some of the reaction of some of the Villa fans was?
A little bit, but at the same time, I can understand the passion and the emotions of football. As long as it doesn't get out of control, then I can understand people's feelings. Am I fazed by it? No. Have I had it before? Yes. Have I come out of it stronger? Yes. So I really look forward to the challenge of managing this fantastic football club.
Is it something you had to discuss with your family?
Yeah, yes.
And were they worried about it? I mean, we think about personal safety here as much as anything else.
Well, I think that's extreme. I think we hear about all these side issues, but sure, have the passion, but don't let it go to extremes. And I don't believe that it's too serious. It's too serious. Some of the rumours.
What's your message to the fans? Is it give me a chance?
Yeah, let me prove myself, and I'll win you over. It's not a case of proving them wrong, because I want to go forward with the Villa fans, and I want to prove to them that I can be the man for this job, that I am the man for this job.
How long do you have to mull over the fact you should be upsetting Birmingham City and Aston Villa fans with the appointment?
Well, listen, it was obviously an issue, and it was obviously for a big discussion, and we said, is it worth the hassle? And I said, well, growing up as a kid in Scotland, supporting Glasgow Rangers, being a bit of a football anorak, looking for the English results, seeing Birmingham City beating somebody, seeing Aston Villa beating somebody, Kenny Burns scoring, Peter Wood scoring, and thinking one day it'd be great to play for those clubs. But to think that I've been able to manage both of them is an absolute wonderful honour.
What's your message to the Birmingham City supporters?
I thank them very, very much for the support over the 3.5 years or 4 years that I've been there. It was absolutely marvellous. We, again, as I said, not everybody was sure to make Birmingham. And okay, I left in a sore note in terms of the relegation, but we just fought one of the hardest Premier League campaigns ever. I had an enormous amount of luck and most of it bad, but we had a fantastic cup victory in the Carling Cup final against Arsenal. So many great memories of the club.
Bearing in mind some of the fans might be upset that you've left to come to Aston Villa, would that make you think twice about going back and trying to sign Blues players?
Well, I know there's many great Blues players there, but the policy that I've always maintained at any club I've ever been at is not to talk about other clubs' players. We have. I'm getting bombarded, as you can imagine, over the last couple of days, text messages from agents and clubs alike asking me about this player and that player, would I want them? And we're just going to assess things at the moment. We'll look at the squad. And
but if you thought that one of the Blues players was the right fit for your team, would it put you off the fact that they're coming from Birmingham City?
I don't think it would put me off. If I thought a player could improve Aston Villa Football Club, then why not?
We've all got so used to seeing you as part of Birmingham City, and I'm looking at you with your Villa shirt and the Villa sign. It takes some getting used to. You're part of the biggest football story in years. Do you need to pinch yourself, or has it all sunk in straight away?
No, I'm sure a few people wanted to punch me, but I don't know about pinching myself. But it is a great honour. It's a phenomenal history of this club. The European. I know it was a long time ago since the European Cup victory, winning the League Cups in '94, '96. But it's a club with great tradition, great history, and it's a massive, massive club.
A lot of other good managers, you could say, were available. I'll throw Mark Hughes in, so it must be quite a compliment, I guess, to you that they've come so hard for you.
Well, that's that. I was taking a lot of heart from that, despite the furore of the past couple of days. That Randy Lerner saw something in me that could take Aston Villa forward, and I look forward to working with the club. And he's got great vision for this club, and he's very passionate about it, just in the same way as he is the American football team.
Do you realise how big what you've done is in football terms? I mean, do you really appreciate it? Do you read the papers? Do you take it all in?
I've tried to avoid the media, just stay away from it. But I do realise that it's a massive story, and so hopefully I'll look back on it and with maybe affection, if you like, and say, well, I needed to go through that to get where I am today.
And do you think because of the pressure of the way it's happened, you almost need to get results once the season starts faster than say another manager would have done it? Almost less patience.
Maybe a little bit more pressure on me from that point of view, but at the same time, it's the remit of any manager. It doesn't matter who's in any job. It's about getting a good start, getting a fast start, and Fulham will be saying the same thing. Martin, you.
Alex, you maintained a very dignified silence throughout your time at Birmingham City when I know for a fact there could have been things you could have said, but what went wrong between you and the Birmingham City board?
Well, Rob, last week Richard Bevan made a statement on behalf of the LMA, on behalf of me, and there's really nothing that I want to say. I think he cleared everything up as far as my stance was concerned, and I really can't comment because we're in the middle of legals at the moment, so I'm sorry, there's a lot of things that I just can't answer.
Do you regret resigning via email?
Again, Richard explained that. We live in a modern world. I followed it up with a hard copy. I did say to my wife, we were into 2 or 3 days of a holiday. I said that I should maybe go and deliver it by hand, face to face, but Peter was away abroad, I was abroad, and my wife said, "You've no way you're leaving this holiday destination or you'll get hit with a rolling pin." Because I was 2 days into the holiday already. I had to spoil her holiday, and after a week we had to come back. But we've come back for a marvellous thing in my life, hopefully.
And Alex, people have asked whether it was Villa's interest that prompted you to resign. Would you have resigned anyway, or was it the fact that you heard of Villa's interest?
Well, again, Rob, it's one of those tricky legal ones. That precludes me from saying anything.
I know it's tricky. I totally understand it's tricky legally, but had anything changed from the last day of the season to the point you sent that email off? Because on the last day of the season you said, "I've got a good contract. I see no reason to leave." But have things changed significantly between that moment and the point you sent that email?
Again, it's better that I don't comment. Sorry.
Alex, in terms of the fact that you went down with Birmingham, you were contemplating being a manager in the Championship. You've now got a job with one of the big sides in the Premier League, top 6. In many people's eyes. We know you've got a great record, but even you must have thought, crumbs, this is some turnaround.
I did, and that's why I'm so flattered to be chosen by the chairman, Randy Lerner. He's obviously seen something in my CV that attracted me to come to this club, Aston Villa. I know that the relegation doesn't look good, but at the same time there have been a lot of memorable moments in my time at Birmingham City and indeed in my previous managerial career.
Have you got plans about your backroom staff? Anything you can tell us on that front?
At the moment, I'm still working on things, but certainly Gordon Cowens will be joining me, the Aston Villa legend, as a first-team coach.
When you saw the pictures of the protests at Villa Park, did any point you think about changing your mind?
Sorry, pictures. What pictures? I think that would have feared me if I saw them. But no, I did. As I say, I've got hip thick skin. I managed Glasgow Rangers. I got it in the neck from those fans up there at times, and I came through that, and I'll come through this.
How much has that experience helped you in taking this job?
Well, it doesn't make me absolutely totally get used to it, Nobody, I think, can ever get used to that. But I've got thick skin. I have had experience of it, and that should stand me in good stead. I'm not saying that it won't ever happen again, but I've got to show the fans that I can turn that around, and those fans, the same fans that were chanting against me coming here, will be chanting my name.
What ambitions have you got for the next season?
Ambitions, I'll assess the squad. We've got to be careful in this modern era in terms of the trading. It's people are obviously looking towards 2013 and getting the houses in order, but I believe there's a cracking squad there, great mix of experienced players, exciting players, and some terrific young players. A real credit to Aston Villa's academy and reserve team.
Is there a crucial factor, Alex? Are you trying to keep hold of some of the players? You don't want to talk about potential targets, I understand that, but Ashley Young on the verge of signing for Manchester United, Stuart Downing close to leaving, we're hearing as well. Can you, at this last minute, try and do anything to try and keep those players?
I don't know. I just can't tell you anything about both players. Stuart Downing is maybe a little bit different. I don't know if the Ashley one's a fait accompli, but I'll certainly look to try and keep Stuart.
Can I just ask you about Far Square? Because I know he was in an interview saying, he's looking forward to perhaps going back to Rangers because they've shown an interest in taking him back. Any thoughts on that?
There's absolutely nothing that I can tell you on these things at the moment. I'm barely in the door a couple of days. I did see Carlos today in the dining room, funnily enough, and he's got an injury at the moment, and the physios are going to keep me up to date as to when he'll be ready again. I know that there's interest from Rangers, but I have to assess things from an Aston Villa point of view, and it may be that we have to keep Carlos here, and he's got to fight for his place again.
And just one more.